All right, everyone, welcome in to another episode of the Lowdown Sports Show. This show is brought to you by the Basketball Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings. That's a big sticker. I'm Drew,
I'm BJ.
and we're here to get the lowdown on all things basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, BJ's got himself a sticker.
I've got stickers, Drew. I just wanted to kind of
Hey,
do a little bit of a dramatic entrance there. If you were
hey.
watching on the YouTubes, but we're having fun. It's a Thursday. It's live now. We're having fun. We're getting ready to talk all things basketball, Drew.
And we are also getting ready to retire this booklet of
Oh
mine.
man, this
The
is its
last
last
episode,
run.
the last episode
Oh
with the
my
fateful booklet
goodness!
with all episodes but the first three.
Wow. So like 80 plus
Man,
then, because
oh
this
yeah.
is this is number 25 here in season 3.
Hmm.
And before that we had 50 in season 2 and 10 in season 1.
I got
So
82 in here, I
82,
believe. Yep,
85 episodes.
82
My
and
goodness.
85 episodes in here. Legendary booklet. Legendary booklet.
It'll be the first artifact that we put in the Lowdown Hall of Fame.
Oh, for
Immediate
sure.
enshrinement right
For
now.
sure. First
It's
ballot. First ballot.
first ballot.
No, no question. Anybody doesn't vote this, we gotta do something with you. I don't know. I don't know what we gotta do with you, but you're making the wrong choices. Ladies and gentlemen, here for our 25th edition of season three, the lowdown. Ladies and gentlemen,
Mhm.
got some NBA All Star recapping for you. I mean, we had some good, we had some bad, we had some. Why is he there? We also want to dive into a little bit of what's going on in the NBA. I mean, we got some free agents out there that are available, and the final 21 games or so this season
Mhm.
are right here. So dive into that a little bit as well. AU Hoops debuting right now. The first game is going on there, uh, 2 quarters into it. And we got another game later after we're done with this recording. So we might be able to pop in with some live action once we get to that later because it'll still be going on and let you know who wins this first game. But we got a good battle going on. Team Williams has won the first 2 quarters, so they got
Mhm.
all the points so far. That's how that's going on. Also, going to let you know when that WNBA draft is, if you don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
talk a little smidgen about it. Yeah.
I think so. And I think, Drew, I don't know if you mentioned this, but we got some big name Hall of Famers going into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame or have
Mm,
been finalists. That
finalists
pretty much
have been
almost
selected.
guarantees that they'll be inducted.
Pretty much. And
We'll
we'll
talk.
mention those
Well,
people.
yeah, absolutely. We
Hmm.
should. There's a
I
big
mean,
name for Dallas Mavericks fans out there.
oh, yeah.
No surprise,
We know.
though. We know.
Also got BJ's best. What's on Drew's mind in that beloved game of With It or Quit It that everybody loves so much?
Yeah, I was telling Drew pre-show before we started that I think he's really going to enjoy this. I had to take a phone call. I went and I dug deep. I actually got the person on the phone
Okay.
that we're going to be talking about in BJ's best. So it's good.
Okay.
I think we're going to have some fun with this one tonight, Drew.
Some very, very exclusive stuff with the last minute phone calls in there. You done busted those out, BJ. Getting deep in your bag, as you should. But it's about time to get it going if you're ready.
Oh,
That
of course, Drew. I'm ready. Let's get it. Let's do it. The
let's
lowdown starts. Well, it started about 4 minutes ago, but
yeah.
it officially starts this episode now.
Right now. NBA All Star Weekend, ladies and gentlemen. There was some good, there was some bad, there was some I didn't see, there's some that I'm glad I didn't see, apparently, uh, and some stuff I wish I had seen, but I saw the replays of it, so it was good enough.
Mhm.
Um, NBA All Star Weekend. BJ, where would you like to start?
I
Uh,
mean, I think we should start with the best of the best. I've got a
okay, the
couple
good
of
stuff.
clips. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we got a couple of good clips as well that we can show in case our
Good news before the
lovely
bad news. Okay.
yeah, our lovely spectators might have missed it. A pretty historic performance on the skills challenge night on Saturday night, especially if you're a fan of the dunk contest. This is where I kind of wanted to pick your brain. If you didn't know, Mac McClung, like your pick, you called it. You called it. I know. You can take your victory lap. I said I do. To be fair though, I did say if it's not Trey Murphy, it's Mac McClung. I wanted to go a little bit different pick, but I'm glad that Mac McClung won because I mean, when you see what he was able to do, Drew, I mean, we're talking about a historic performance. Want me to roll that beautiful clip footage?
Roll it.
Roll it.
I'm worried about the guy holding the other guy. Some point he gonna go down. Oh, that's a 50. That's a 50.
I got to see if he hit the backboard.
That's a 50.
Smile says it. I got to see if he hit the backboard.
That's a 50.
I got to see if the back.
You referee the name on the back. See how everyone's standing, including us? Oh, my God. Hey, what's up, Kenny? And a reverse.
Hey, young fella.
And a reverse.
I have one thing to say. Welcome to the NBA.
That's impressive. Giannis' reactions is crazy. Look at Alvarado. And look at baby Alvarado right there.
Here comes McClung. Oh, yes. Hezzy. That's a Hezzy. That's called a Hezzy dunk. So you Hezzy in the air. Yeah, that's a ooh. And that might be an ah, too. I think that's a 49 and a half. That's like one shade under 50. That's one shade under 50.
Look at Giannis.
You better be worried.
Look at Giannis.
Yeah, you got to be worried. And he's putting on the handle.
It's a wrap.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is over, ladies and gentlemen. It is a wrap. It is
Look at Trey Murphy's face. He know it.
It's a wrap.
CJ going to shake him up. Good job, man. It's over.
Oh, my goodness.
It's over.
NBA star has been born tonight. His name will be realmed throughout the country for 48 hours. Yes, indeed. Go, young fella, go. You have won me over, Matt.
I'm going to say this. Matt McClung has saved the dunk contest.
Wait, let me see.
2 years straight.
That's a 720. That's almost a 720.
Goodness.
Wow. That's a 360.
A G Leaguer has saved. He has saved the dunk contest.
He almost did the 720, but he once stopped at the reverse. Oh, that's a 50.
Mac McClung of the Philadelphia 76ers.
That's what's up, man. That's great for Matt.
A superstar has been born tonight.
Jack, what'd you think about Mac?
What's up? He saved the dunk contest.
So you heard it there. A lot of people saying Mac saved the dunk contest, Drew.
He was electric, man.
That was one heck of a show. Only missed a perfect 50s across the board slate of all four dunks by what, 1 point, Drew? It was 1 point off of getting all 50s on all four dunks. Still remarkable. So the biggest question, you know, a lot of people were saying it at the time, and you continue to hear it. Is that true? Did Mac McClung save the dunk contest?
Well, he saved it at least for this year, and definitely everybody liked the dunk contest this time around, especially with the way he went through and just completely dominated it. Because we're used to people missing so many dunks over the years, and even star dunkers like Dennis Smith Jr. when he did it back in the day, like we used to see him do it like nothing. We heard he always did it like nothing in practice, but at the stage, he missed some. And if he would have been spot on, maybe Dennis Smith Jr. would have saved the dunk contest. Don't know, but it's definitely at least saved for this year. It's only saved further on if somebody else comes in and like it's a good dunk contest again. If this is the start of something, so if in 5 years we have 5 good dunk contests, we can definitely be like, yeah, Mac McClung back in 2023, he saved the dunk contest, and we've had nothing but good dunk contests since.
Do you think this is going to lead to renewed interest from actual, like, more NBA stars performing in the dunk contest? I mean, the biggest reason I think has been because LeBron has never participated in it. Do you think that seeing some of McClung's handles and flashes on those dunks is going to get more interest from NBA players proper, like NBA stars?
Nah, I don't think that alone is going to do it for the stars. I think there's going to have to be heavy incentives involved for them to do it. Because, I mean, as good as a lot of these guys are at dunking, they got a lot of pride too. And if you put 4 studs out there, nobody's going to want to go out in the first round. Everybody's going to want to make the finals and stuff. So, like, you're going to have to get a group of people that's willing to do it and, like, is just doing it for the incentive or whatever is on the line for it aside from the trophy, because they don't care about the trophy or they'd be doing it now. But like, it's definitely going to be some pride involved with those guys. in that situation. Probably, I would think, because depending on what the incentive is, let's just say it's $2 million. You got four of the game's best players and dunkers in there. I mean, so I mean, I don't even know who you could throw in off the top. Let's just go like
Jaw.
John
Hmm.
Morant. Goodness, heck, who else?
I mean,
Um,
Tatum had a couple
could
of
you
impressive dunks in
maybe
the
Jalen
All-Star
Brown
game
could get
proper.
freaky out there? Maybe
Maybe.
Jalen Brown.
Hmm.
Who else has got good bounce like that? That would be make it worthwhile. Because I mean, we've seen a lot so
Hmm.
far, and
Yeah.
we gotta have like the Mac McClugs who have true bunnies like that, not just like
Hmm.
flashy dunkers. So like Ja
Yeah.
definitely counts because he's jumping out of the gym,
Yeah.
and he would be able to do some things like that because he has hang time.
Hmm.
Um, we'll just have to see, man. It would be nice, uh, and especially if the guys go in and like they're like, yeah, it's cool if we do win, and then they don't care if they don't. If they come in
Yeah.
just really trying to
To
have
have
fun and put
fun.
on a display, but really like that incentive would be real cool. That's why I'm here. But if I lose though, I'm not really tripping because this is really awesome. Then I think it would be really fun. So I don't think it's influenced them, Mac McClung alone, but some incentive is going to come along to make things better because people had a lot of general complaints about All Star Weekend. If there's anything you can spice up while it's got some momentum right now, maybe some dunk contest, you know. So who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows? But
Well, the
go ahead.
All-Star game itself, Drew. We'll talk about. I don't know
Yeah.
if you had a certain list, but you talk about wanting to bring something like incentive-wise to the dunk contest. There's incentive out there in the All-Star game, but we're not seeing like a more than just kind of you know running down the court for open breakaway dunks or half court shots and everything like that. You're not seeing the try hard. You're not trying to seeing a whole lot of defense being played. So, is there enough of an incentive for the dunk contest more so than what you're doing in the NBA All Star game? That what's the difference, and is that going to spice it up anymore if there's not as much interest on the player side when they're performing in the actual game itself?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like they would just. I don't know if they could say anything. Maybe it's just more injury risk for the All Star games. But if you're making this hoorah about things being for the fans,
hmm,
and all that, like it's time to make it for the fans. I mean, like just that horrible display this year, and I'll give you the numbers on that the All Star game, BJ.
yeah,
The ratings went down tremendously
yeah,
compared to even just last season. Ratings declined 29% and viewership 27% from last year's All Star game.
man, man, that's a
That's
lot.
major for the
That's
NBA.
that's
You
yeah,
know,
we've been talking about how well the NBA has been doing with their ratings in the past few years, and they just agree to like a new extension in the past year or so that was going to get them like in the billions for the TV rights or something like that. I think I remember something like that, but they're not getting that kind of money if they're not able to get better ratings. They got to figure something out for the NBA All Star game. I mean, we got a clip here. Jayson Tatum went off and scored an All Star game record 55 points. We got a clip of his performance on Sunday night. You can kind of see what we're talking about with the lack there of defense in this clip.
Looking up front for Embiid. Mitchell with a steal. Defense. Mark that down, Candace. First defensive moment of the day. Tatum will do the same.
Was that a message? Was that a message, Reggie?
All right, you got DeRozan.
Hit or miss.
Tatum fired. Oh. Jayson Tatum.
Hey, Reggie, you know what we call that for the king? We call that a business.
Oh, long three. Rattles it
I
home.
mean, we've seen 3 logo threes since this quarter began.
Cavaliers right now sitting in the 4th position. They've got home court in the playoffs if it should stay that way. With
No, don't toy with him,
45
Tatum.
games or
Don't
so.
toy with him.
Tatum.
That's what he's doing.
Don't toy with him, Tatum. Listen, he thought about it. He thought about it. Was like, nah.
Tatum. Wow. Hey, shooting clinic out here. One-on-one. There you go, Jayson Tatum. A little redemption. Giannis has 1/4. Donations to raise the future. Nice. Traded from Sacramento for Sabonis.
And I know, Reg, you said that you got to defend the three, but making threes help.
And look at those numbers, BJ. That's a lot of points. It's just like Donovan Mitchell said. It's just a certified layup line, is what it was. I mean, that's not entertainment.
No, my favorite part is LeBron doing the acrobatic.
Yeah,
getting completely out of the way so he didn't get posterized, which is what you wanted to kind of see somebody do in the All-Star game with Ja over Embiid or something like that. But
yeah, so they gotta start making things competitive again. I don't remember what year it was. I think it might have been 2020, BJ. They had a competitive fourth quarter at least. That was fun. I would be satisfied if they just even did a half's worth of it. Like I don't know, the end of the half. Second quarter, fourth quarter, just down pat, play serious. Like actually lock in for a little bit and see what that little bit even does. I don't know, man, but I don't think you could get them to play serious for a full game just because people would throw in the injury risk thing and we don't want to lose our MVP during this All-Star game because you guys want to be entertained or something like that. So maybe just a little bit more, not too much, like another quarter's worth, like they did back. So like a half's worth of playing serious, a half's worth of kind of not playing too much defense.
Yeah. So I can't take credit for this idea. This was given to me by one of my friends that I do another show with here. You might have seen him when we did a crossover episode back in season 2, I think. But my buddy Tyler, we were talking about kind of a way that we could, come up with and fix this. So, want to keep that same aspect of how much the fourth quarter means. With the first to 24 and honoring Kobe Bryant now with the Kobe Bryant All-Star Game MVP trophy. What he came up with is a kind of a similar thing, but you do it the whole game. So it's the best of 7. You're not playing like the full 4 quarters or full 3 quarters and then the first to 24 in the fourth quarter. You're playing best of 7, first to 24, kind of like pickup games. And you can still do the draft. You can still have all that aspect like we had of All-Star Weekend. Maybe you can even do like one game is all starters, one game is all reserves. And so you got to be strategic where, how you mix it up. You can only have like the same 5 guys out there at all times. You're talking about maybe a 6-minute game essentially that you then take your commercial break after. Because, I mean, you're shooting the way they shoot threes. You're talking about the first to make 8 shots is the winner essentially. But you play best of 7, first team to win 4 games. So you kind of keep that aspect of like how a playoff series is. And, then whoever wins the best of 7 series, the first to 24 is the winner of the All-Star game and is given the incentives and their team's charity, the Boys and Girls Club this year, or whatever it may be in Indiana next year. Is the winner. So that's a possibility. I don't know what you think about something like that, but I wanted to get that out there at least and see if maybe we can, get the ears perking for the right people so we can kind of fix some of this.
Okay. I'm interested. I'm all for the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's not bad. People are used to the 7-game series and whatnot due to playoffs and things of that nature. And I don't know. Maybe you can get players in that game 7 mentality mode if it goes that far. But what if somebody? What if they sweep though? Then like, what do you do after that? What if one side sweeps?
If one side sweeps, I mean that is a possibility. You could, I mean, maybe if you got like a 2-0 lead after one quarter, maybe you can switch sides, kind of
incentivize each quarter, if you will, or like game of the series.
You can make
with
different
like
rewards.
bonus money for the charities or bonus money for maybe the bonus money can go to players there, like
leading scorer of the bonus quarter or whatever.
Well, nah, then people would just be jacking up shots all the time.
No. That's what they're doing anyway, as it is though.
But if we're gonna get them in that mode though, then we want them to compete though and like actually play things out and not just get jump shots up. I think it would be interesting.
I think it would be too.
But uh incentivize it in a little way, like
Hmm.
the quarter or the whatever you would call it, the game, the whatever
Yeah,
little game one,
the
little
mini
game
game,
two,
or yeah,
yeah, All Star game one, All Star game
yeah.
two, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, do
All
those,
Star, maybe it's the All Star Game Series Best of Seven or something. I
yeah,
don't
like
know.
maybe yeah, just
You
like
can find a sponsored name or
a
something.
bonus to the charity or a bonus to the players. I don't know, man, something that's gonna make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about some of the best, and we talked a little bit about the worst, but there's some other stuff that we haven't talked about, Drew. I'm curious as
Hmm.
to what you kind of thought about the other stuff we haven't mentioned. I know we were both pretty much spot on in our 3-point contest winner.
Hmm.
It was tough to bet against Damian Lillard, and he proved why. It was Dame time.
Yeah, I like it. I like it when Dame came in and took over.
Hmm. The Weber State jersey at the end,
Hmm.
that was a really cool touch.
Yeah. One thing I didn't mention before, and I mean, we talked about the game, but we didn't talk about the draft.
Hmm.
And how that kind of went down. With people had grievances that it was slow, which I believe it was pretty slow.
It
They
was
could have
pretty
sped it
slow.
up, and they
Yes.
had some malfunctions in that draft. TJ, the hot
Yes.
mics from Shaq and Chuck, which was driving me nuts because I thought it was just one of them quick things that somebody could just mute them and fix it. But no, they were going on for a while.
Yeah,
And if I was the person on stage, if I was EJ, it was that kind of stuff drives me nuts. So
so
like
I was
I don't
watching.
even like in when doing broadcasts, like when I did the Commerce game and Justin was in my ear
Mhm,
as we were talking going out, like even though he's just doing a countdown or whatever, it just I like to hear myself. I like to be able to hear
yeah,
myself. So
yeah,
it just hearing that other voice, like I can't hear, like
yeah.
it drives me crazy.
I was watching the TBS feed because I was going to watch the Inside the NBA show, and I thought that something was bugging with that feed. I didn't know that it was on like it was just a hot mic and everybody heard
Hmm.
it. I thought that it was just they were talking over that, and I was like, why are they talking over this? What's going on?
Yeah.
Why can't we mute it so we can at least hear what's going on with the draft? But I mean I thought they were funny, but I didn't know if that was supposed to be part of it or if that was just the like something that wasn't supposed to be. I'm glad that the hot mic didn't pick up anything more so than just the there's no way to get in trouble out here or something
Right?
like
Like
that.
they could have been talking about anything, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah,
Could have just like, yeah, while they're drafting, get off topic, be like, man, Chuck,
and
what'd you say about them? What'd you say about them women in San Antonio?
Chuck was drunk. I hope you know Chuck was drunk. There is no way he was not. He was trying to blame it on like a delay in his microphone or something like that. There may have been, but yeah, I mean he had found a way to get
Oh
some
yeah,
alcohol into the dry state.
that was peak Chuck and Shaq going on behind the mic there. I'm
Yeah,
just glad nothing like super bad came out, like a private conversation. Like they could
yeah,
have been having that, and like they don't know that it's going
yeah. That's
over.
live. Yeah,
But like, and it would be in the middle of all that, and imagine all the memes from the players' faces. I'm sure there probably are some that I haven't seen yet, but yeah,
but
that
yeah,
was wild because
the
TNT
draft
just could
went
not fix it. They just
the
didn't fix
draft went way too slow, Drew.
it.
And
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit interesting that they went with the reserves first as opposed to the starters. I think you and I
Mhm.
both kind of weren't expecting that.
Right.
Um,
Different
and
wrinkle.
and so I mean I like that touch because it's like you're still getting like the last pick of the draft is still going to be a fantastic player because it's an all-star starter. But at the same time, it kind of throws off our momentum of like who's going to get taken number one overall because nothing was told, nothing was said ahead of time. And did you notice? I think they had jerseys both
Yes, I did
sides.
see him on the
Yeah,
sides. Yes, I did.
so they did have in case either superstar chose whichever player they chose,
Right.
they'd have the right corresponding jersey. So that was one of my worries that I thought
What's What's
maybe they
funny
would.
is like I looked over on the left when I first noticed them. I only looked to the one side, and the only jerseys I saw, like I guess it was I don't know where my eyes went. I
Mhm.
saw Kyrie's and I saw Luca's,
Yeah,
and they both ended up on the same team on that
yeah,
side on
on
LeBron's team.
LeBron's sign,
I
yeah.
was like, what? Did I just see the future?
And I'd like to say, had Giannis had the first pick and the starters gone first, I would have been spot on. I would have been spot
Probably.
on with
Yes.
Jayson Tatum.
Yep.
That was Giannis's first pick. But anyway, you watch any of the celebrity game?
A little bit, not the whole thing though.
Yeah.
Just kind of the early parts of it wasn't too
Did
great.
that shot, should the shot at the end have counted? Should that have gone down, or was that
Was it
after
the
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 buzzer?
Miz's shot?
Yeah, the Mizza
Oh,
shot.
I'd have to look back at it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was really close, but I think it was just after the horn. So,
Yeah, I'm
but
not
that
sure. It was
that
a crazy good shot though.
yeah, that also needs to be shortened down though. We shouldn't be. We don't need 12 minutes quarters for
Yeah,
that. That
no, that's
that's
way
that's
too
gonna
much.
tire those guys out. Guys and gals,
Yeah.
I should say. But
Mhm. Only people that are
um,
not going to be worn out are the actual athletes out there. But
yeah,
we definitely don't need 12-minute quarter. Like, get that down
yeah,
to high school numbers. Give them
yeah.
8-minute quarters.
Yeah, I like the
Uh,
running clock though. I mean, that kind
yes.
of that helped with the all the
Do
stoppages.
you
But
still run the clock if you bring it down to 8-minute quarters?
yes,
That's gonna
yeah,
be that's gonna be done so quick.
exactly.
That's
There's
gonna
no
be some
reason why
bad
it shouldn't.
basketball.
There's no reason why it shouldn't fit into a 2 hour window though. So
Yeah,
take
yeah,
it
for
down to
sure.
8. Keep the clock running. I mean, you're still gonna have funny moments. You're still gonna have all the noticeable memes that you're gonna get from celebrities in that game. But anyway, I and then the Rising Stars was pretty cool. And Team Gasol, congratulations! They had a really good run. I thought they had the best talented roster out of those four, and
Hmm.
Gasol did come through with the victory. So
Well, there you go. Let's see, what was I gonna mention in here? We
anything,
talked
yeah,
about the beginning. Um, yeah, skills challenge. We throw in skills challenge. Um, I didn't get to see that live.
I didn't
I
either.
heard the Rooks did bad. I think it
Yeah,
was
the
the Rooks that did bad.
Rooks had like a lot of missed shots that looked like they should have been making them. I don't know if it was just like kind of the moment was like whoa, like
And
more so than they thought, but
Colin Sexton out here undefeated in the
yeah.
skills challenge.
Whichever
Wherever
team he ends
where's
up on, that's who's going to win it next
where's the
year.
All Star game next year? Is it like
Indiana.
Indiana?
So Pacers.
He's a pacer. Rick
Pacers.
Carlisle's gonna make the call.
This is going to be our bold take of the. We're going to have to come back to this especially if it happens.
I would laugh really hard the moment it happened. I would know. I would. That's one of those things that's stuck in the memory banks. If I saw a Woj tweet, I'd be like, "BJ, look at this. Did we speak it into existence?"
We spoke it into existence.
Jesus, that's crazy. One other thing, did want to mention. We won't touch on it too long. It's
Hmm.
just the questionable inclusion of Karl Malone in All Star
Yeah,
Weekend.
we
Just
talked about
putting
it a little bit last
and
week, and I
and
mean,
bringing
just
him back to the forefront. Like, what did you expect people to say when you put him up on the big screen now? Yes, of course they're going to bring up what he did. Like,
yeah,
nobody wants to see Carl. And like, did you see, like, he knew that, like, when he got up there, that was going to be on people's minds if he hadn't heard or been told it already, that he
hmm
was like, one thing that's still like ringing in my head from when he was up at the podium, when he went to John, he was like, "John, you never judged me." And I was like, I know exactly what he's talking about. I know exactly what he's talking about.
good lord.
What are we doing here? What are we? This is, why is he here? Why is he here?
Hey, we got through it. It's not going to be in Utah probably anytime soon. Again, we're going to have it rotating around for quite a while before we see it return to Utah, and we might not have to worry about this
And like,
anytime
it's
soon.
just a questionable outfit too. It's just kind of crazy. Did you see he had a hoodie on and a dress shirt button up on top of it?
No, I missed that. I didn't pay attention to what it was
Oh
wearing.
man, let me. I might want to share screen right now. Hold on, just to have you just look at it.
If it's unseemly, then oh, here we go.
Yeah, look at this. I wonder if you. Yeah, look at this. You see that hood right there?
Oh
And
my
then that's,
goodness.
what is that fit? Who wears that? Who
I
wears
don't
that?
know. Was it that cold that he had to wear a hoodie
There's,
underneath the dress shirt?
no, nobody does that. You could have worn
Mm.
something on top of your dress shirt.
I
That's
mean,
not
look at
necessary. That
what
doesn't make any sense.
Kareem's wearing his jacket over his shirt.
Exactly. That's what
It's
you're
the
supposed to
perfect,
do.
yeah. It's the perfect
Over
normal way
it,
to do
not
it.
under your shirt.
Yeah.
If you got another jacket, you could wear your hoodie under your
Un-
other jacket. But
unless Drew, the only thing I can think of is that whatever hoodie he was wearing had something
that's
that they're like, you're
something.
you're not going to be wearing that. You got to put this on over
Oh
it.
man, that's a good point.
Yeah. That's the
What
only reason
was
why you
on
would
his
do that.
hoodie? Because that just doesn't make sense as a fit. And this is All Star Weekend. And like, even though you're not a guy that dresses up or something, like, you surely got to know common sense to not, like, nobody does that. Nobody
No, yeah.
nobody
No.
dresses like that.
I mean,
Nobody puts the hoodie under the t-shirt. They put hoodies under jerseys,
yeah.
but they don't put the hoodie under t-shirt.
We famously are not the fashion police here at the Lowdown, but we're gonna have to call that out. That's just blasphemous.
Somebody needs to do some
We
investigating.
need
Call
digging. What was on
Worldwide Wob or something to go look at the video and be like,
hashtag what was on
what's
Malone's
going on?
sweatshirt?
Nah, for real. It has that just totally makes sense though, right? Now
Yeah,
that you
that
mention
now that I
it's
say it,
like,
that's the only thing that makes sense about why,
man,
because that's not what would be intentional about wearing that.
what if it
what would you be
was,
saying?
dude? Ah,
You don't want to say it.
I just imagine like what could be on it. Like,
What could it
what if
be?
it like think the worst? Like
I like 12-year-olds and I cannot lie or something. I don't,
something relating to something about young people or something.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I
Like
don't know.
what if it was young and wild and free?
Oh, good grief. We better stop while we're behind. This could get very bad very quickly.
But yeah, don't do any more Karl Malone stuff in
No,
NBA, please.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think
Please.
we're not gonna have to worry about this. He wasn't in
Gosh.
Cleveland last year, was he?
No,
I didn't think
God.
so. Because I mean,
Um,
they did the 75 last year, and
and
I thought he was part of this NBA 75.
and BJ, I hope the W got some ideas from the NBA and take the bad things and see what not to do.
Yeah,
I hope they draft at the All-Star game this year. That would be cool.
that would be really cool. Also, Lisa Leslie was the one that did not give Mac McClung the. She was the one judge that voted against Mac McClung getting a perfect 50
That's
on
crazy.
all 4 dunks.
Well, I mean, it's Black History Month, so I mean, she had to throw that in there. But like, you did great, but you can't get a perfect 50. I mean, it's Black History Month. I can't do it.
Man, I don't know if that's the case, Drew. Let's hope that's not the case. Because I didn't see anything that didn't deserve a perfect 50, and you're more the expert than I am when it comes to this department. Did you see anything that you could think that would knock him down?
Hey man, I out of 5 voted, out of 5-0, 50,
Big 5-0 from
50,
me as
50,
well,
50,
Drew.
50. Yeah.
So
I think oh yeah, we got to tap into a little bit of the NBA's final stretch run here. BJ, there's some free agents out there that don't have homes
yeah,
right now. Some names like Dwight Howard, who's playing in Taiwan, could be useful for a team of defensive rim protector. Dallas, give him a call. Carmelo Anthony, who hasn't had a team all season, what could he provide to a team, if anything? A surprising one that I saw this free agent, Will Barton, but he hadn't had the greatest time lately on the court, so I guess I get that. But before, in season past, he was doing okay. Man, who's the other point guard I'm thinking of? But and Serge Ibaka available as well. Oh, John Wall was the point guard. So we've got some people out there, some names that used to be very notable, BJ, like all stars.
If we're talking about a decade ago, man, this is like a star-studded
perennial players. Yeah, a decade. I mean, John Wall, former All-Star, one of the better point guards in the league. Serge Ibaka, what we used to call him back then.
Yeah.
On the
I mean,
Thunder.
Melo coming, he
Melo
was in his
a
prime.
Knick 10 years ago. That's funny because I came across a video of like when Melo had signed to be a Knick, like there was like a hype video and stuff of like the first game or whatever, and it's crazy we bring that up. But yeah, there's some names out there, BJ, and then you talk about the easiest and the hardest schedules for the remainder of the year. The Mavs are one of those teams that have one of the easiest schedules to finish the year, and some of their counterparts in the West, Clippers, and I believe it was Phoenix, have one of the hardest schedules to finish.
Yeah,
the season.
I was gonna say this kind of seemingly sets up like last year did almost with the Mavs. They didn't, they weren't necessarily like one of the easiest, but they had a more easy second half after the All-Star break than they did first half leading in, and so it's kind of playing out like last year almost to a certain extent. Mavs make a big trade at the deadline, as we talked about last year, trading away Kristaps Porzingis for Dinwiddie and getting him in here. And then this year, now Dinwiddie's back out the door heading to Brooklyn, and Kyrie Irving's in here. This is looking pretty favorable for the Mavericks. They start off with their game here tonight against San Antonio. and then they've got the Lakers coming to town on Sunday. Both those teams are outside of the playoff picture in the West Conference before things really start to heat back up in the month of March with some tough teams coming to town. But Mavs, they got to find the gel, the chemistry, maybe, Luka with the time he spent in Mexico, hopefully doing him some good, getting ready for the second half run, and hopefully refreshed and not fatigued.
Heck, BJ, for the Mavs, it's a big difference this year compared to years past. I mean, not just the addition of Kyrie Irving, but
Mm-hmm.
Luca came into the season in shape this year.
Yeah,
So like, usually this was the point of the season where Luca had got in shape, so the Mavs could turn it on a little bit. And
yeah,
they had been doing that for the past couple of seasons from the All-Star break on. They have a near, that's an excellent record
mm-hmm.
usually the past couple of years. So now, I mean, you're in that position once again. Luca is in even better shape and also has an all world player in Kyrie right
Mm-hmm.
beside him, and you're getting players back from injury as well. So I mean,
Yeah,
you get a Maxi Kleber probably back in a
mm-hmm.
week or so. He's supposed to be back probably now, but a little bit
Yeah.
delay. But much better position even than they have. I think they can make a phenomenal run, like
I think so.
single digit losses to finish the season.
I'm going to be very impressed because they do have some tough games out there, but they should be, one of the teams that's best positioned to climb right now. As tough
Yep.
and competitive as the Western Conference has been in the first half, it's still, I mean, you saw they were competitive with Denver without Kyrie the last game before
Yep.
the All-Star break. They get some games and they get some health, and the bench continued to perform like they did when Luka went down before even Kyrie came in that game against Utah, the game out there in LA against the Clippers, perform like that, and kind of over, figure out what you're going to do in the late game situations so you don't lose like you did against Minnesota where you don't even get a shot up, Drew.
Yeah.
That's what hurt the most about watching that game, is that they had made that big comeback, they had a chance to win it, and trying to get between Luka and Kyrie, somebody to take the shot. Neither one of them get it up because the ball gets turned over trying to make a good pass. Somebody's got to step up. Somebody's got to be that other option when those two guys are going to get a good majority of the eyeballs and all the pressure on defense from the opponent. Somebody else has to be there, step up and take that shot. Last year was Dinwiddie. Who's going to be that guy this year?
That's no question. Got to be Christian Wood.
Yeah, and I
Um.
hope Wood is ready to go. I know he's been kind of
Mhm.
battling a thumb injury, so hopefully that's had time to heal, and we'll see how he looks here in the second half.
And another bit of help for the Mavs, they added some wing depth, bringing in Justin Holiday. I had forgot
Mm,
about him until earlier. I saw his pictures again, so I made sure I wanted to mention it. But at least some length out there to help Reggie Bullock and others on the defensive side of things. I know Josh Green will be in that role too, but he's blossoming as a offensive player as well. He's finally coming into his own a little bit. Mavs looking good. Gonna have a fun second half, last 20 games, probably better term of the season
mm,
here. So looking forward to it.
yeah.
And what everybody else can look forward to coming up now is BJ's best.
Well, Drew, before I do that, I wanted to mention we're
Okay.
gonna talk about these basketball Hall of Fame finalists. Just bear with me for
Oh
just
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
second before we get going, because the we'll know the full class when we get to the Final Four here in about a month or so, the beginning of April, at the NCAA Men's Basketball Final Four. But here are some of the star-studded names that are part of the finalists for the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Gasol, and Greg Popovich highlight the class. The all four of those guys are in my mind, no doubts, Drew. And then there's some more that are probably going to be getting in, and we'll see how many uh, you think are going to be a part of this class. So you've got Jennifer Ozzie, you've got Gene Bess, Gary Blair as a player, not a coach. As previously mentioned, Paul Gasol, Becky Hammond as a player, David Hickson, his role as a coach, Gene Keady as a coach, Dirk Nowitzki previously mentioned, Tony Parker. Could Parker and Pop get inducted in the same year? That's a very realistic liability or
Possibility.
Possibility. Dwayne Wade, as previously mentioned, and Marion Washington, her uh, her contributions as a coach. There's also the North American committee members that were highlighted. I was going to say, I think they. Let's see. I'm trying to look at this, and this is nominees. These are not finalists, so I'm not going to go through that because there were more that were nominated than ended up becoming finalists. So it looks like a big class could be heading to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in this summer, Drew.
Lots of legendary players and coaches in this pool here. It would be cool to have Pop and Parker in there inducted at the same time, and it's I guess at this point, BJ, it's only fitting to have D Wade and Dirk in the
Dirk in
same
the same year,
class. They've
yeah.
been tied together for
Mm-hmm.
all these years, so
Going
might
back
as
to
well.
06,
Yep.
But
Yep.
all right, Drew, I'm going to go ahead and we'll go into BJ's best now.
BJ's
So
best.
I've been watching some college basketball lately. I'm sure
Mm.
you have as well.
Little bit.
So Monday night, I'm watching my Frogs of TCU take on Kansas. It was Big Monday and a big moment in a tight game back and forth. I don't know if you saw this. This is courtesy Twitter, not my video.
Mm.
But I was watching the game. I saw this too, and I had to find out more. So I'm going to play this for you.
Miller kicks the ball.
So, way to hold out the note there. So that is the TCU public address announcer and my good friend Monty Cook. That is the one that is responsible for that. And so, knowing that I wanted to bring that up because I saw it kind of circulating around on Twitter. Actually, that's a Kansas fan that posted that and said, I'm still in tears laughing about how long the TCU public address announcer held the note out for Damian Ball on this 3-pointer. Drew, that went halfway into the shot clock possession for Kansas because the shot clock's at 30. You hear it fading out at 15. They were still spacing out and trying to get a good look in their next possession. And then it finally starts to fade out. So I called Monty earlier before the show. That's the one I was telling you about that I wish I had been able to record our conversation. So I asked him, I said, kind of just walk me through, have you been doing this all season long or what it led to this? And so he said, with certain players, Drew, and you know this as a, kind of an announcer, you can space out their name and hold it for a pretty long time. He said that 10-15 is not even the longest that he's able to do. A couple years ago, Desmond Bane, obviously now with the Memphis Grizzlies, was at TCU. And he said, he practiced. I don't think he actually did it in a game because, he didn't want anybody to come over there and raise a big fuss or anything like that. And he told me a funny story that I'm going to keep to myself about an earlier incident earlier this season that happened when TCU hosted Baylor. I'll have to remind me after the show. I'll tell you more about it. But he said that he didn't do it in a game, but he was able to get Desmond Bane held out for closer to 25 to 30 seconds after a shot. So that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty crazy.
Do you think that this is, I've seen some people that are kind of like, this is over the top or, no class, no respect. I disagree. I think this is awesome. I think this is funny. And Monty said point blank, you need a way to keep the crowd engaged, especially when the game is as close and tight as that game was. That 3-pointer made it 54-53, and there was, less than 7 minutes to go in the second half. Do you have a problem with this, Drew?
No, I don't have a problem with it personally. It's something I would do if knew I wouldn't get in trouble for it. And I hope
Mm.
he didn't get in trouble or anything.
No, he didn't get in
But
trouble for it.
but no, like yeah, no, that just seems like it fits into his personality too.
Yeah,
So
he's an awesome character.
yeah,
One of my friends that I'm always tickled to hear from.
that's a reaction I would. It's a reaction I would hope for if I was doing that. And people be thinking that was funny, get their phone out and get enough of it to record it.
Yeah, well, watching the game and then like going back and re-recording that
Yeah, like
moment because just see
you're not
how
even
long it
trying to
was.
get the dude. You're just like, here's the basketball game, and like, he's still going.
He's still going.
He's still
My
going.
goodness,
That's
like
a whole nother possession.
almost into the next possession for the Frogs is when it's finally
Right?
fading out.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I didn't think you'd have a problem with it because that's what he said is true. You need a way to keep a crowd energized and hyped up, especially in a game as big as that. That was third-ranked Kansas, Drew. Third-ranked
Hmm.
Kansas was in town. TCU's kind of they've been limping along. They've had some injuries. They're finally fully healthy. It seems at the right time going in to March here next week, and trying to keep any kind of deep playoff run in the postseason tournament alive. They're in pretty good shape, but they could have used a big win over Kansas, and not just that, but they would have swept Kansas in the regular season, which has only been done twice under Bill Self in Kansas history, going back 20 some odd years now.
Hmm.
So you need something to keep the crowd energized and motivated. It was a big sellout. I think they were talking about possibly the one of, if not the largest crowds in TCU basketball history.
Mm.
And I thought he was just, I didn't ask him, but I thought he has had to be loud because the crowd reaction was so loud after that made shot that you kind of have to yell yourself so that you can be heard over it. So I don't know. I mean, I thought that I didn't think there was anything wrong with that,
Mm.
but just kind of keeping the crowd hyped up. Later on in the game, Max Duggan, the TCU Heisman finalist for the football team, their quarterback, and the Davy O'Brien winner, he came straight from a function with the Davy O'Brien um, award where he received the trophy. He came full tuxedo down late in the second half to his courtside seat, and that seemed to get the crowd even more hyped up and motivated. Unfortunately, it just was not enough. TCU ended up losing by 5. They had some opportunities that they'd made a few more free throws. They could have pulled off that game, but maybe that's the motivation, the factor they need in terms of when they get to the postseason. We'll see, but that was BJ's best just because. I mean, you want to hear it one more time and see how long?
Let's do it.
15 seconds we're here. I mean, I'm telling you.
Miller kicks the ball.
10 seconds alone on the ball. He starts off the Damian ball at 25 in the shot clock for Kansas. It ends at the 15-second mark. The 15 seconds into the shot clock after when they do three-pointer Damian ball. I don't know if I could hold a note that long, but
I don't know if I
impressive.
would hold it that long. I'd probably chop off at least like 3 seconds.
Yeah,
I
didn't
I'd
have a
tail it off.
problem with
I'd decrescendo out.
it.
Ball!
But I mean, that did its job. The crowd was hyped, motivated. It was a raucous atmosphere. I wish I'd been able to be a part of it, Drew, the other night. But
Maybe one day you'll be there and when he does it.
maybe that's a goal for this
Maybe you'll
coming
plan it
next
so
season.
you can be the one to record it.
Depending upon where I'm sitting, I might, if he allows me to kind of, spot for him, I'll set up a camera, like, have the face react and kind of have just his vantage point where he's yelling into the microphone.
Heck yeah.
So, but that is BJ's best for this week, Drew.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Love that. Love that. Well, you know what I also love, BJ, is
What's
those
that?
NBA fans out there. We're NBA fans. And it's time to bring the hoops action to the palm of their hands with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, New customers can bet $5 to win $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Yeah, that's right, Drew. It's the NBA season returns tonight. In fact, right now there are games going on over on TNT. I think you've got Memphis and Philly going on, and then later on you've got the Golden State Warriors at the LA Lakers. But go look at Friday's games. A couple of big time matchups looking ahead. You've got the Heat at the Bucks. Milwaukee is favored by 2. Now, I think Milwaukee is going to win that one, defend the home court in their return from the All-Star break. You've also got Phoenix, which is a 7.5-point home favorite over the Thunder. I think, Drew, I think the Thunder keep it close. I'm not quite ready to pull off the upset pick, but I'm feeling a little sneaky there.
Hey, if you're gonna do it, you better do it
I
now
know,
before KD comes back.
I was gonna say you gotta go now, and best of all, Drew, if I wanted to, I can place a wager on this game for the Thunder with a no sweat same game parlay. For a limited time, all new and existing customers can get a no sweat same game parlay every day. So whether it's Friday night's games, maybe you're looking ahead to this weekend, you got the Celtics and the Sixers in prime time on Saturday, or Milwaukee hosting Phoenix on Sunday before the Lakers travel to Dallas. And then you've got a 3 or 4 games on Sunday, in fact, with Minnesota at Golden State and the Clippers at the Nuggets. A lot of good action this weekend, Drew. What you want to do, just get your DraftKings Sportsbook app. Go on your phone, click on that little icon on your phone. Go on there, you opt in, place a same game parlay on any NBA game, and if it does not hit, don't worry, no sweat. You'll get a bonus bet back.
Download the app now and sign up with code TBPN. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, with code TBPN.
Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Well, all right, Drew, before we get back into the dive of things, we got Athletes Unlimited tipping off tonight. We got some WNBA draft news that we're going to spread along, but I didn't want to mess this up this week like I did last week. The most important thing we got to find out tonight, right now, is what is on Drew's mind.
Well, BJ, I struggled with this one this week. I wasn't sure which direction to go, so this is kind of a random drift.
Okay.
We're going to talk about water.
Water.
We're
Well,
talking about high quality
it's
H2O.
funny you mention that because I've got a glass of water right here.
I've got a Yeti full of water.
One of those big old cup cooler type things.
Yes, indeed.
Cool.
We're talking about water. Specifically, which ones are the best
Okay.
waters? And I know there's controversy about this, BJ. There's certain bottles of water that people will not drink.
Yeah, I was just say, if Dasani's at the top of this list, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna get out of the studio.
I'm saying that's how you got to feel about it. Because there is some beef with some of this water, and some people just like, I gotta have this water and nothing else. So
Interesting.
people out there, and some of these bottles we've got them ranked, and I just want to see how you feel about these, BJ, and where
Okay.
they're specifically, and if you've had this water before. We've only got 8 on this list because I like this list better than the other one.
All right.
So let's go through here. This is a top 8 bottles of water.
Okay.
Coming in at number 8, Smart Water.
I like Smart Water. I'm surprised that it's low on this list, unless the other
That's
7
what
are.
I thought too.
Yeah, unless the other 7 are just like head and shoulders above, and I just didn't know. I think that's a little low for Smart Water.
Yeah, you would think too. You know, I wouldn't think, especially below the one that it's about to be. They're the one. Some of the ones that it's below right now, BJ. So
Okay.
let's continue down here. Number 7, Aquafina.
Yeah, that Smart
It
Water
doesn't
is
make
better
much-
than Aquafina.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense right there, BJ. There's
No,
a
it does
reason
not.
the prices are the way they are.
Is it just because Smart Water is more expensive than Aquafina?
Doesn't Smart Water also have electrolytes?
I think so. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Aquafina's
just a
the
regular bottle of
yeah,
water.
and it's the Pepsi company's bottled water, if I'm not mistaken.
Apparently, Aquafina is a purified water that goes through a 7-step Hydro 7 filtration process that it claims takes out way more solids than other filtration methods, making for the purest water possible.
I think it takes out some of the flavor too, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not too excited about it.
No.
Let's see what number 6 is like, and
Okay.
we're not gonna be too pleased with this, BJ. Number 6, Dasani.
That's disgusting.
That's just
I'm
wrong.
it's
Wrong.
at least it's not number one, but
It's just wrong.
mama baby Jesus, I'm not really happy with how this list is started.
Not making a whole lot of sense here.
No,
So
no,
the
it's not.
soda titans over at Coca-Cola own this purified water imprint, and that
It
makes sense.
always tastes like
'Cause
it's got a nickel at the bottom of it. You
doesn't it
notice
just
that?
make sense? Because they used to put cocaine in Coca-Cola. So
Yeah, well,
I
that's
mean,
true.
here we are. That's why Dasani. Maybe that's what's in Dasani. They just put a little bit of that Walter White in there. I don't
Well,
know.
you know,
Which
have you
is
you know what's weird, Drew? You know, if you put a
uh-huh.
bottle of water in the freezer, it'll freeze and you get
Yeah.
like a bottle of ice.
Uh-huh.
Dasani doesn't do that. That shouldn't. That's like
Does
hint
it
number
really
one.
not?
No, it doesn't freeze. You don't get a block of ice in the bottle. It's just a really cold
Oh,
bottle.
I didn't know that.
That's not natural.
I'm gonna have to test that. I need to
You
see that.
got yeah. I wouldn't spend my money on a Dasani, but you can
Yeah.
if you find one like unopened, on the street or something. I don't know. I'm just, but yeah, that you put that in the freezer, it will not freeze. That's not water. That's not human.
Yeah, it's a little strange for sure. Let's keep going and see if these waters get any better. Number 5, Evian. Haven't had this
I yeah,
personally before.
I haven't either.
Um, it's got kind of like the background of a Coors Light bottle, the mountains, blue mountains over here behind it, and it's from the French Alps.
I mean, I've
Evian
heard of it, but I've
is
never had it.
Evian is naive spelled backwards, but it's also the name of a town in the French Alps that was founded way before people learned about spelling things backwards to create secret messages. The company claims its water is a geological miracle because it passed through a few very scientifically unlikely permeable layers. Over the course of 15 years, rain and snow make their way into an underground spring where the water is harvested already fully full of electrolytes and minerals. In
Hmm.
water. Might have to try it, see what it's like.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can find it.
Next up at number 4, Fiji natural artesian water. I have had this.
I have two, I'm pretty sure, and
I'm down with Fiji.
it's yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's I think Smart Water's up there with Fiji, in
Right,
my
it should
opinion.
be top 5. Um, it seems it's crazy. Does it seem like when you get these bottles, like the fancier, what we would call the fancier bottles of water, I guess, are the ones that are more than like what our ordinary, what we're used to, like a great value bottle, we just get in there,
Hmm.
or an Ozark bottle or whatever,
Yeah.
like a Fiji and Smart Water and all that is considered like, more bougie, I guess. It seems like when you
Yeah.
drink that water, it goes down faster.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you get rid of you drink it
You
faster.
you feel like you're more hydrated too.
I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. Fiji tropical rainfall on the island of Vetaluvi in Fiji, or Livu, I'm not sure, is naturally filtered through volcanic rock where it picks up minerals and electrolytes, then wells up in an underground aquifer. Number 3, Nestle Pure Life. This is shocking.
Yeah.
It's another ordinary bottle of water
Yeah.
is up here.
I've not had this, but or at least not that I recall. If I have, it didn't leave enough of an impact that, um, I'm that I even would want to put it up there. Like it's not Dasani bad, but it's just not like top three in my opinion.
Yeah, not at all. Number 2, Voss water. I have had this recently, actually.
Okay, I've heard of it, but I've not had it.
Found in an artesian well in Norway. Shout out to Vikings Valhalla. And also in fancy hotel rooms. I actually haven't seen that. I've seen life water in fancy hotel rooms.
Mm,
Which is life water is forgot about that until I just mentioned it. It's not even on this list. It's not number 1, by the way.
wow.
Voss ties Mountain Spring for the most expensive water on the list. crazy.
When I think of Voss water, Drew, I think back to the first Grown Ups movie with Adam Sandler, where Adam Sandler's son is like they're all at the restaurant, and Adam Sandler's son wants the Voss water
Did
ordered,
he
and
ask
it's
that
like,
for real?
yeah, he asked for Voss water,
That's
and they're like, we got maybe the tap or something like that.
good. All right, rounding it out at number 1, Mountain Valley Spring Water. Have you had this, BJ?
No, I've not heard of
I've
this.
not either, but it's probably because you haven't been to Arkansas. This
Yeah.
Arkansas source spring water has been quenching thirst since 1871, as I hit a mosquito, and has been a favorite of everyone from President Coolidge and Eisenhower to Elvis Presley and Secretariat, who stands alone as both the first horse to take home a Triple Crown and first to have an opinion on water flavors. It takes 35,000 years for rainwater to make its way to the aquifer, and its naturally high pH supposedly works well to neutralize highly acidic food. Let's briefly check out this previous list that I wasn't going to mention and see if any of these bottled waters ring true. Number 10, Arrowhead. Never heard of it.
I think I've heard of it, but I haven't had it.
Haven't had it either, definitely. This is a tie, or yeah, a tie at 9 or a tie at 8, whichever way you want to look at it.
Mhm.
Dasani and Aquafina. I don't know
Yeah,
why they, I
that's
don't know
pretty
why they
fair.
even, yeah,
That's pretty fair.
Aquafina now in its rightful place, lower.
And Dasani too.
Yeah. Number 7, Ice Mountain. Never heard
Haven't
of
heard
that.
of it.
Number 6, Ethos. Haven't heard of that.
No, I
Well,
haven't either.
I know that sounds familiar. Take that back. Oh, number 5, here it is. Life Water, spoke it into existence.
I have heard of
There it
it.
is. It's all right. I would consider Smart Water better,
I
though.
think so too, but I wouldn't have. I don't think I've had Life Water to compare. Like you said, it's more bougie. I think.
Yeah,
Like I'd rather have Smart Water. I think.
yeah, I had it 4 months ago, and it definitely didn't do enough.
Hmm.
Number 4, Evian. We mentioned that in
Okay,
the
we
other one.
mentioned, yeah.
Number 3, Smart Water. Now we're doing the right
That's
thing
yeah. I was
here.
about to say that's a lot better in my book.
Number 2, Essentia. Haven't heard
Not
of that.
familiar.
And number 1, Fiji.
All right, I think that's the better list, Drew.
Yeah, probably overall, yeah.
Yeah.
I made the wrong choice, I see.
Yeah.
I
Oh
didn't
well.
I didn't expect, because I didn't check that I didn't check the second one before. Just notice that Nestle and things like that were gonna be at the top. I would have opted for the other one just
I
for
was just
time's
saying
sake.
that I don't have a problem with that because that gave us something to say. What are they talking about? You know?
Yeah, but yeah, you're totally right on Dasani. It's just not the
Yeah.
wave. But I'm down to trying all these other waters just to see which ones I
Mhm.
vibe with. So I've tried Life, Smart Water, Voss, and what was the other one? One other one I can't remember the name of. But I got to try some other ones now.
Most
Oh,
of the time,
Fiji.
I'll just crank open the tap and drink water like in a glass or whatnot.
Oof.
I don't try to buy a whole lot of like bottled water unless it's summertime and really want to make sure I'm staying hydrated even more so than just enough from a cup or whatnot.
I
So,
don't drink tap water anymore. Call me bougie. But because we lived in Commerce, Texas, where we could not
yes,
drink tap water,
that is true.
I had great water in Winsboro
Hmm.
at home, but moved
Yeah,
to Commerce and
man. Yeah,
here we
I was
are.
gonna say that. I think we're pretty much having survived the commerce tap water. I think we're immune to anything Mother Nature might throw at us now.
I feel like anybody that lived in Commerce is immune to anything. Like if
Yeah,
there's an
it's like
apocalypse, everybody that went to
yeah,
Commerce is not going to be sick
yeah.
because we were in the
I was
Commerce
just I
water.
was gonna say you survived. We survived the COVID pandemic. I don't think you didn't get COVID, did you?
Nope.
I didn't get it either. It's the commerce
Survivor.
tap water. There we go. We
Commerce
figured it out.
disgusting slime water that we all showered in.
That's where they got the first little
Gosh,
bit
man.
of the vaccine so that everybody doesn't get
Yeah.
the COVID.
Yeah, let's go tap in and go
Tap
put a
the-
giant syringe in the Commerce water and just get it and go put it in the rest of the vaccines and just duplicate it and spread it out.
Yeah, and instead of saline, it's commerce water.
Yeah, I mean that's oh my god.
Oh my goodness, we better stop. We better
Well,
stop.
that is what's on Drew's mind this week, and I'm gonna try and get more interesting next week. I had something in mind, but I could not execute, so I'll
That's
save it for future endeavors.
No, it's whatever you want that's on your mind. Even if it's water, like we spent 10 minutes, I think, talking about a 15-second clip during a college basketball game from
BJ,
Monday
you
night.
know what I want?
What do you want?
I want somebody to win this AU game, this first game right now, BJ, as we transition to some WNBA/AU
Hmm.
content. It's in overtime.
Oh
This first
my!
game is in overtime. Team Williams won the first 3 quarters,
Wow.
and then Team Sims had a crazy comeback, tied it up, and they're in OT now. It's
Hmm.
90-86 with 20 seconds left, and the clock is running before
Well,
they're about to toss it in here. Maybe they're going to fix that,
yeah,
and
that's
they have
probably
to
going
let
to
it
be the
run out
case.
before they get to reset it. So
Hmm.
probably so. That looks like what's going on here. So I was like, why are we running the clock in OT? But
I know the coaches would both have an issue with that. Except, I
mm,
mean, maybe not the winning coach, but he knows that that's not gonna, or she knows that that's not gonna be the case.
best part about this, BJ, is when these teams were drafted and I saw the rosters, I knew that these two were going to be these are who I had tabbed as the better teams, and these guys are they're battling out in overtime right
Hmm.
now. I wish I had a box score. I don't think they provide that live, so that might have to wait until later. But
Let me
they're
see if I can
balling
find
right
one.
now. Team Williams got a steal. They had to toss it back in. 4-point game. The clock set back to 3 minutes, so we're at 2:40 now as Odyssey Sim just gets a bucket, 2-point game. So this one's coming down to the wire, BJ. The first week in AU hoops. Last year, they're a season in to AU. This is the second year, BJ,
Hmm.
and the first year of AU was pretty fun. And now they're in Dallas this time around. Got games today, tomorrow, and Sunday. The
Hmm.
first week of 5 weeks, and you're gonna be pretpretty tapped into AU, BJ. You're gonna get you some tickets since they're down there in Dallas now. You gotta go
I'm
check
gonna.
them out at Fair
I
Park
was gonna say
Coliseum.
I'm gonna try. It depends on the
Yeah,
scheduling. I don't know what. Like you said, I got a pretty jam packed weekend this weekend, but we'll try to get it figured out here in the next couple weekends before the regular season comes to an end. I found the total points or like the points breakdown, but I don't have a box score live, so I've just got a
yeah,
leaderboard. So maybe that isn't not too much of help there, but. It's going to be interesting to kind of see how it all plays out. This was something that you and I were kind of watching last year, when they were on and kind of keeping up with. And, surely, as you said, season goes by so quick that it's hard to believe. Um, but do we want to run down kind of the teams and how they were drafted? Because you got some pretty star-studded,
yeah. Go ahead.
talented rosters. Let's see here. Where did that go? I had that. I'm pretty sure. No, so that's the by point. It doesn't have by team here. See if I can.
Hey, how long is this video?
What does it say? The
Nah, I don't want to play that whole video. But typically after the last game of every week, they get the top 4 point scorers. They'll be named team captains
mhm.
as gold, orange, blue, purple team,
Yeah.
and they draft like that of the pool of players.
Hmm.
And they're going off of last season. The highest point scorers from last season got to be um, the captains to do this week. I think there were a couple of replacements. So um, Courtney Williams wasn't supposed to be a captain, and I believe somebody else wasn't supposed to be a captain. One of those other two,
Hmm.
and or three, and so they've drafted those teams. You happen to have the full rosters on you by chance? I didn't get those.
I was to say Team Williams and Team Sims are competing right now, and
Yeah.
I've got a roster with I think this has got the no, it's
I don't have
still
it
it's
close.
wanting to show me just like
I'm probably.
the it doesn't show me which team they got drafted to. They're all kind of in the same
I'm sure I can get that
color
here really
scheme.
quick.
Yeah, if you can
I'll go.
find
I'll have to
that.
go off of their Twitter account because I know there's images out there, uh, graphics with the full team. So
Hmm.
I know that's there.
Yeah, I went and looking on their website. I thought maybe that would be.
Gotta get
Here
past
we
the
go. Here we
highlights
go.
right there.
I bet this has it. This is meet the week one teams. So we're talking about Team Sims
Yeah.
and Team Williams right now that are competing. That's Team Odyssey Sims leading the charge. She's got Kelsey Mitchell, Melissa Smith, Kirsten Bell, Veronica Burton, Danny McCrae, Lexi Hull, Kirby Burkholder, Kalia Robinson, Akila Mays, and Antoinette Bannister on her team. And Team Williams, led by Courtney Williams, she's got Isabel Harrison, Naz Hillman, Laisha Clarendon, Vina Westbrook, Air Hearn, Teresa Plaisance, Rebecca
Place on.
Harris, Plaisance, sorry,
There you go.
Rebecca Harris, Lydia Marie Rivers, Cece Andrews, and India Jones on her team.
Yeah.
And the other two teams that we'll see later on this evening, Team Cloud and Team Cole, will take on each other. And Team Cloud, led by Natasha Cloud, she has Jordan Canada, Jasmine Walker, Jamarish Davis, Essence Carson, Destiny Walker, Jessica Custer, Mimi Jackson, Christy Bellick, Whitney Knight, and Saria McGuire on her team. And Team Cole, led by Taj Cole, she's got Alicia Gray, Lexi Brown, Charisma Penn, Sydney Colson, Jenna Stady, Maya Hollingshed, Ty Young, Crystal Bradford, Hope Elam, and Dejani Carrington on her team, although Carrington is inactive. So they got some good star-studded rosters here, Drew, that will be interesting to see kind of how it plays out each week. And obviously, like you said, the rosters and everything will change based on the points per each weekend's games
Mm-hmm.
and shift. So it's going to be very interesting, but there is a lot of talent on these teams.
Point leaders right now: Teresa Plaisance, Isabel Harrison, Naz Hillman, and Avina Westbrook. So far through this first
Mm-hmm.
game, really close between Izzy and Teresa Plaisance, just 6 points apart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we'll see what happens to finish this game and how the rest of those points get distributed. Team Sims won the fourth quarter with that big comeback,
Mm-hmm.
and the winner of the game will get 150. So either Team Sims will win this points wise 200 to 150, or Team Williams will dominate this bad boy and come away with 300 points to just
Mm-hmm.
50 for Team Sims, which would be
Man,
crazy. But
yeah,
yeah, this is a battle it out. I knew these teams were going to be like this. The first two quarters was 2 or 3 point differentials. Only separators were the third and fourth, where it was 6 points and 11 points. So it was pretty good basketball here so far. And get to see some players who didn't play in this last year, and some people who did. You
yeah,
got some returners here: Tosh
mm-hmm.
Cloud, Izzy, Courtney
Yeah,
Williams, and the likes of those players. But you didn't see Teresa play Sons last year.
no,
Clarendon didn't see Jordan Canada, Alicia Gray, Veronica Burton from the Dallas Wings,
mm-hmm.
and players like that. So it's got a good spread so far, and we'll see how the rest of the things pan out. And um, got other games coming up here in a bit. I think that one concluded now, BJ. I
It's
gotta
pretty
back
close
up
if it hasn't.
because it said it had ended. My screen did. It didn't show up anymore, so I don't know if that's still up or not. Looks like Team Williams is in the lead. There wasn't much time left, so they might be closing that out. But yeah, loving some athletes unlimited. I can't wait to get over there. I'm gonna hopefully be. I say hopefully. I've talked about it today, but well, not on the podcast, but
Mm-hmm.
outside of this, gonna be doing some shooting for a site that covers the Dallas Wings. Wings Bulletin, headed up by Landon Thomas. He covers the
Awesome,
Dallas Mavericks, so I'll be
good
doing
stuff,
some
man.
stuff for them, shooting some of those, and some of it'll be just personal growth as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be able to pop on with one of these players if they need a photographer or anything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Heck yeah,
yeah.
man.
AU's gonna be dope. It's really awesome what they're doing, and the fact that it's in Dallas in season 2 is just it's awesome. And the arenas, you're gonna have people coming in to watch this. You have so many WNBA players in this. So I mean, and especially with it on League Pass, it gives it immediate access
Mm.
to all the WNBA fans out there who wouldn't have otherwise gone to YouTube to watch it.
Yeah,
Anybody who's got League Pass from last year has instant access right
yeah.
there, and the notifications are coming through on the WNBA app too. So that's also super helpful
I
for
knew
this. So
last
I
year
think
they
it's
had a couple
awesome.
games that were on like CBS Sportsnet and a couple other
Yeah,
places. So I don't know if that's still the case this year,
yeah,
or
you're
if.
gonna have that again.
Mhm.
The games on Sunday, the first game on Sunday at least, maybe both.
Okay,
Yeah, both on Sunday are gonna be CBS Sports Network.
awesome. All right. Well,
But
I'm glad that it is on WNBA League Pass, so that hopefully will get things more out there for Athletes Unlimited. But also, Drew,
mm,
speaking of the WNBA, the 2023 WNBA Draft has announced the date and the location that it will be taking place. It will be April 10th of this year, so pretty much a week or so after the NCAA Women's Basketball National Champion has been crowned. Could be South Carolina again. Indiana's looking good. I mean, there's some teams out there, but it's tough to pick against South Carolina right now, Drew.
hmm yeah.
So that's fill out your brackets accordingly. It will be held April 10th. So again, week after or so after the season ends at Spring Studios in New York City, and it's going to be televised from 7 to 9 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. So 6 to 8 o'clock Central Time, and rest of the country and the world can do the calculations themselves. So all 3 rounds, 36 picks drafted, or all 3 rounds and 36 picks will be drafted on site with prospects. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert will be announcing the selections live, and prospective draftees will get to visit the Empire State Building before taking part in an orange carpet ceremony before the draft. So this is going to be pretty big, Drew. The WNBA is kind of, finally getting their draft to be like the NFL, the NBA draft, where they are getting, excuse me, where they're getting, the prospects are out there and getting to have that kind of, talking to the press, orange carpet in this case, if you will, like the other drafts that we're accustomed to seeing from the other sports leagues. And so hopefully
hmm
this will be really good exposure for some of the best in college women's basketball today.
Yeah, and last year went pretty well. We sent somebody out there from WNBA lead when I was with them last year. We had Dano Matea go out there and cover the draft for us live. So and he did really well with that, which was exciting in the first year heading things over there that we got to be a part of the draft representation live in those aspects. So it'll be a good day. I think we'll see a lot of talented players be drafted into this league, and we'll see how many stick as well. And it's bad that I scrolled down and kind of looked at this, but just when you take a look here, if you open up the news from WNBA.com about this when the draft is, um, it's got here, a little bit down the way. The Indiana Fever own the top pick in the draft in 2023, presented by State Farm. The last 10 number one overall picks are
Mm-hmm.
listed right here, BJ. And I want you to just tell me one that just doesn't sound like it belongs, at least for right
Okay.
now. And no offense, but just it sticks out. Brittany Griner, 2013. Chinea Gumake, 2014. Jewel Lloyd, 2015. Brianna Stewart, 2016. Kelsey Plum, 2017. Asia Wilson, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Young, 2019. Sabrina Ionescu, 2020.
Yep.
Charlie Collier, 2021. Ryan Howard, 2022.
You trying to get me to be bad and say that Charlie Collier is the one that is not quite like the others,
I'm not
Drew?
trying to get you to be there. I'm not trying to get you to be bad, but I'm just saying like it sticks out like a sore thumb right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that she can come into her own. And I'm not trying to bash on her, even though that was kind of funny. Um, but I kind of look back to look at Kelsey Plum and how she started in the league. She wasn't doing as well as she was coming out of college. Just the leading scorer all time, and just came in, was just 34% from the field, 36.5% from three, just 8.5 points a game. Not doing a whole lot in those early years, just 8 and 9 points a game the first 3 seasons. And she didn't come into her own until the last couple of years. So maybe that's a progression that you can see for a Charlie Collier, to slowly work into that. But you've got to see, I think, just because of what she's up against in Dallas as far as her competition, she has to make significant strides this offseason to be a rotational player. She's not going to start, that's for sure. She would have to have, just big changes in the offseason to play a significant role, or else I don't know what her future is like, because you're already 2 seasons in, 2 whole seasons in, and she barely does not see the floor. Kelsey always saw the floor. It was a different kind of mix over there. I mean, she was playing 20 plus minutes a game every year. You don't see that from this side. And I want her career to be able to turn around and to at least get another fair shake. If she can't hack it, then, you just got to go get in the gym or something, and figure it out somehow if you can. But I want it to work, and I don't want her to be this sore thumb that sticks out when people go back and look at the list of all the WNBA draft picks over the years who are going number one, and like even the next couple that were going to be over one, like you don't even have to worry about like this year's number one, Aaliyah Boston, like that's going to be surefire.
Yeah.
Like that's no question. She's going to be a dope WNBA player.
I mean, we've been talking the last 2 seasons that when she was eligible, she was going to be the number one pick. There's no question in my mind that she's a surefire.
And then 2024, you got Caitlin Clark coming out. I mean, like that's. I mean, she's getting
another no-brainer.
Just dominating the game for years. I mean, she's ready to go. She could be playing in it probably right now.
Yeah, she could be drafted, number 2 behind Aaliyah Boston this year.
Yeah, for sure. She would definitely be. That's where she would be right now.
Yeah.
But like you got prolific number ones that are going to contribute for years coming up. Like there's no question that anybody's going to pick anybody over Aaliyah Boston. There's no question, at least right now, unless something happens, that nobody's going to pick anybody over Caitlin Clark for 2024.
Yeah.
There are some other players coming out. I want to say that Paige.
Yeah, Paige Becker's at some point, I think, maybe.
And Fudd might be in that class as well. I'm not sure if they're 24 or 25.
Yeah.
Might be 25, but, Caitlin Clark's still in the lead regardless right now. I mean, she's the healthiest of all those players anyway, so she's sticking at 24 at number one.
And what she's been able to do with all the triple doubles that she's putting up, and just kind of, that when Iowa has really, gone when she goes, when she's, when somebody's able to kind of keep her in check, Iowa has just not found that secondary weapon. So that should show you how good of a player she's been. Is, maybe Iowa's, got a problem with they can't find anybody else, when she is kind of clamped, but that's something that she can work on. But that's also something that she's got to have some, somebody else to kind of step up and be, making plays when all the attention's on her. And that won't be the case in the WNBA.
And I'm going to make sure that I don't, again, feel like I'm pointing the finger at Charlie as well. Cause like when she started off the year, like she was getting the minutes, getting those bumps, getting those learning lessons early. And then, just a certain point just got taken out of the rotation, and just never got the chance to be back out there. So, I mean, a lot of people have been clamoring free Charlie ever since, and, rightfully so. I mean, she's a fan favorite amongst, Dallas. I mean, she grew up in Texas, had dreams of being the number one pick and all that. And, like I said, is loved by the fans. So I don't know, man, we'll see what her career turns into. And if she's still on this roster going into the season, makes it through training camp, and see what's going to happen with the rest of her career. But yeah, that's that. Shout out to all those number one picks.
Absolutely. Not they're even now. I don't think there's anything wrong with Ryan Howard being on that list, and she had a great rookie season. But even last year, Drew, we were you and I were kind of talking, and maybe not debating, but we had some general discussions that there was an argument to be made that you can, depending upon which team ended up with the number one pick, you might not be taking Ryan Howard. You might be taking Alyssa Smith, and we wouldn't have kind of had a problem with it either way. So, it's it's kind of intriguing, going back through the last 10 years, how many were kind of no doubters. And then the last 2 years, there have been some question marks surrounding the number one pick where this year and next year, it doesn't seem to be that's going to be the case.
And now it's time for With It or Quit It.
Yeah.
That very famous show that everybody loves so much. With It or Quit It. I'm back in the saddle with the questions.
Back in the saddle again.
My last page of this book.
I,
Sad violin. All right. Number one, BJ. You, Mr. BJ Laudermilk, once thought about being a coach at some point in your life as a career. With it or quit it?
Probably. I'm trying to recall before I give you a definitive.
I feel like you would know.
I feel like I wouldn't have the patience or the mental fortitude to be a good coach. Like I might have thought about being, a coach, but I don't know if I've got the chops for it. It is, a very tough job, and and I don't consider myself to be motivational or anything like that. So, I maybe I'm wrong, but I may have considered it. That wasn't kind of, for me, it's for pretty long time. I knew what I wanted to do, but I can't remember if before that I may have been wanted to be a coach. I think the best case for me would have been a video game coach. So I'm going to say quit it, Drew.
Yeah. That's probably the way I would have leaned you towards, since we're not sure whether we did it or not.
Yeah.
But, some people, I just wanted to gauge and see, because some people haven't even thought about being certain things before.
Yeah.
Like if I would have said, BJ, you once thought about being an athletic trainer, with it or quit it, you'd be like, oh, no, I haven't done that, not once. Nope.
I worked with athletic trainers, and in fact, my brother in high school was an athletic trainer.
Well,
so
gosh, dang it, you ruined my example, BJ. I was just trying to pick something, just go along with it.
Well, okay, all right. I'm sorry, but no.
But number two, you, Mr. BJ Laudermilk, prefer your water at room temperature as opposed to ice cold. With it or quit it?
I hate to go 2 for 2 to start off, but I'm going to quit it again.
Oh, you like
I do put the ice cold water. Now, I don't, necessarily, unless I'm really parched and wanting to get rehydrated, I don't, I will like drink it all in like one gulp, but I'll have a lot of ice and I'll let it sit. I'll be sipping on it, and then the ice melts, and so it ends up becoming room temperature, and then I just down the rest and go get more. But when I start off with a fresh glass of water, it's ice cold. So
there you go. Well, let's see. Maybe you'll quit it on all of them. Who knows?
I don't know. Have I done that before?
I think maybe. Yeah. I
thought
think you quit them all before you with it. I'm all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't remember.
Number three. A new player in Athletes Unlimited will win this year. With it or quit it? So players off the top that I guess I could maybe eliminate for. Well, gosh, Leah, I took away the rosters, didn't I? Wait, no, I didn't. So players I could eliminate for you to help you out. Natasha Cloud would not count. Essence Carson, Courtney Williams, Izzy, Rebecca Harris, Ty Young, Sydney Colson, Lexi Brown, Taj Cole, Odyssey Sims, Kelsey Mitchell. Yeah, most notable names that that would not win it. So you're left. Let me give you the better WNBA players to help you make your decision.
Okay.
Jordan Canada, Naz Hillman, Laisha Clarendon, Teresa Plaisance, Crystal Bradford, Alicia Gray, Veronica Burton, Lexi Hull, Nalissa Smith, or Kirsten Bell.
Oh, I hate to go 3 for 3. I really do. I'm thinking that I'm leaning towards somebody who's going to win it again, but I do like a couple of the options that you listed. Especially Nalissa Smith, Alicia Gray. So I'll go ahead and I'll go out there. I'll be gutsy. I'm going to say with it. Let's go.
Okay, who are you picking then?
I'll go Alicia. I think Alicia
Okay,
Gray
good
is going to be a
choice.
very good choice
Alicia
to win it
Gray
all.
to
Yeah.
win it in
Yeah.
AU this year. That's
I
big
like it.
time.
Yeah.
Big time selection, BJ. I mean, sticking
Yeah.
with those guns. Final answer? Final answer?
Final answer.
Okay, final answer. There you go. All right. Well, number 4. You know, we talked about this trade already, VJ, in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Marina Mabry now in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, BJ, are you with it or are you going to quit it that Marina Mabry will be an all-star this year in Chicago under James Wade?
My goodness, man. Good questions. Good questions today. It's at this stage, Drew. It's kind of a complete crapshoot because there's so many talented players. You're gonna have a lot. The big 3 that are in New York are gonna get at least 2, maybe all 3 get all-star nods. Vegas is gonna get a few as well. If there is one representative from each team, I don't believe this is the case, Drew. I don't think that they have to take one from every team.
Mm-hmm.
As it stands right now, Sky's best chance of getting an all-star is probably Marina Mabry.
Ooh.
Probably.
Oh, what about the Finals MVP from 2021?
Yeah,
Colette Copper.
Yeah.
Former All-Star Courtney Williams out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Who knows? What are you going to quit it?
I'm going to quit it.
Quit it. Oh.
I'm going to quit it.
Okay, no All-Star for Marina Mabry this year. Okay.
Prove me wrong, Marina. There you go. There's the motivation she needs.
He clipped this for James Wade, like BJ over here, he does not believe.
Send all hate mail to the Twitter @ linked on screen.
All right, and this one, number 5. I almost didn't get my 5th one on here today. I forgot about it until the last second.
That go, man.
What
you doing?
I was struggling with it or quit it to get today, and you said these are great questions. That's awesome.
Well, the first few at least have been so.
Oh, you didn't like that last one? Oh.
No, I'm meaning that one was a good one too because it made me think. But it might all come tumbling down depending on what question number 5 is.
Number 5, you, Mr. BJ, prefer to be the wheelman on long road trips as opposed to the passenger who is navigating. With it or quit it?
Well, I mean, so the funny thing is that, a lot of the times when if I'm making a long road trip, it's most of the time it's just me in the car, so I have to drive. But for the longer road trips that I've traveled with people, not by design because I don't mind driving, but I've been the passenger. So I'm kind of, I'm trying to find the right way to respond to this because I don't mind driving, but I also don't mind not driving.
What is your preference?
I mean, it just depends on the length of the road trip, like where I'm going. If
4 hours.
4 hours.
You're going to Houston.
I mean, it also depends on who I'm in the car with, honestly. But yeah, if it's just me, then I have to drive. But now, if it's you and me, let's say that. If it's you and me, Drew, I'll drive. You okay with that?
Pick something.
I'll stick with it. I'll drive. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say.
Deal. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is With It or Quit It. And I wish we had some cool music right now. Let me see if I can find something in there to get this going. I don't know if it's gonna hit right. Yeah, no, that'll work. We're retiring the Lowdown Notebook. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been through a lot. Trials and tribulations. It has not been wet, damaged, thrown. Okay, it's been thrown a couple of times. Stomped on or anything like that. It has endured and withstood the test of time. This notebook is in the Hall of Fame. The Lowdown Hall of Fame.
It's standing in the Hall of Fame.
This is a finalist. You know what? We need to have We need to have an induction day. This is this is our first finalist to the Hall of Fame. The notebook.
The
The
notebook.
notebook.
The notebook.
The
And
notebook.
it's got the sticker on it as well,
It's
Drew.
got the sticker.
One of these bad boys right here.
Yes. Yes. In the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame,
And the
yeah.
world's gonna know your name. The notebook.
Well, what a fantastic career and a storied retirement for the Notebook. We'll be
Man.
looking for a fresh start next week, Drew. And if you're looking for a fresh start with some apparel, Drew, you know where you can go. It's over to our good friends at Fanatics right now. You got a 24-hour sale, got a few more hours going on, up to 65% off site-wide by using promo code CABIN, CABIN. We talked about it last week. The Super Bowl merchandise still available for those Chiefs fans out there. Maybe you want to get some college hoops gear as we get closer and closer to March Madness, one of the best times of year for playing hooky and not paying attention at school because basketball's going on all day. Baseball spring training's going to take place, and it's already started for some pitchers and catchers. Yeah, you want your Jacob deGrom merchandise as a Texas Ranger jersey? Look on no further than going over to Fanatics. You can find it all and so much more. All that you want to your heart's desire can be found at Fanatics. But if that's not your style, Drew, maybe you want a sticker or you want to rep the Lowdown instead. How can we make that happen for him, Drew?
You get over to T Public. You got a sale going on right now. T-shirts discounted to $16. Hop on that while you can. Get them while they're hot. You're going into the months that are starting to heat up a little bit. The past few days, aside from today, have been pretty warm out here, BJ.
Yeah. Spring is coming.
Spring is coming. We're less than a month away from spring break for those kiddos and whoever else actually has off during spring break. We don't get that. We're adults.
2-3 weeks maybe.
Yeah, unless you're a teacher. That's the only ones that are off on spring break. They have so many breaks. It's crazy these days. But anyway, go get yourself prepared. You can go ahead and get you some tank tops. Get ready for that. If you got your beach body already, you got done with bulking season. You've been cutting. Get you some tank tops. You can wear them in the gym. You don't have to wear them outside just yet. I know it's not warm enough, but it's okay. Go get yourself hooked up. Get that merch. Get your stickers like BJ. Get you a pillow like us. Get a t-shirt. Get a tank top. Get whatever while it's hot.
Yes, sir. We're always thankful for the support, whether it's on Fanatics, T Public, or just by you listening right now, wherever you may be listening. We want to appreciate you. And like Drew mentioned, a couple weeks away from spring break, March Madness, we're getting some more college hoops involved here. Not too far in the distant future, but hoops action is heating up. So get your best place with DraftKings. Get you some merch over on Fanatics or at T Public. And most importantly, Drew, don't forget to check us out on social medias.
Yes, follow us on social media at @the_lowdown. That's THA_lowdown on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Perfect. Give us those follows, ladies and gentlemen. One little quick thing, just a quick blip before we head out of here, guys. We're 15 episodes away from 100. That wilt.
Wow.
That 100.
Man,
so I'm sure that's going to be dropping sometime during the summer with the way things are going. If I could math things up.
I was going to say.
Probably early
three
summer.
Months, almost 4 months away. It would be early June, maybe.
Early parts of the summer. So stay tuned for that. That might be the day we throw in the Hall of Fame inductions. That'd be our Hall of Fame episode on 100. The Lowdown, the Hall of Fame induction on episode 100. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys for listening. We love you. We'll catch you next time on another edition of the Lowdown Sports Show. I'm doing the Kyrie.